Let's just come into a seated position, somewhere on your mat, on the floor, wherever you seem to be, and just set yourself up nice and comfortable. So however you prefer, with your legs straight or crossed is fine. Just lifting the flesh from your sit bones wherever you are in that position, and just settling yourself down. Just observing now what parts of the body are feeling comfortable. If you need to sit yourself up onto a blanket or a cushion, I've got a cushion today. I really like cushions. They give me just a little bit of height, make it a bit easier through my hips and knees. Just soften into the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. Feel free to close in with the eyes. Resting your hands onto the back of the knees, palms turned up or face down, whatever you prefer. Or maybe you like to rest the hands just into your lap. Just quietly taking this opportunity to bring the awareness to the here and the now, this moment. Good Friday, beautiful day today in Hanmer Springs. So just enjoy this peace, this quiet, this calmness, the stillness that is towards the end of the afternoon before our evening wind down. So observe your breath as you breathe in and out through your nose, or a small partition in your mouth. And observe where that breath is coming from and where it's going to. So if you notice that you're lifting through the chest with each inhalation, just see if you can get the breath all the way down into your belly, and if it helps, feel free to place a hand onto the belly, just so that you can really feel that belly expand with each inhalation, and then feel it fall just gently back towards your spine on the exhalation. Taking this opportunity to just quieten the mind and focus completely on your breath, the body, the here and the now. There seems to have been a general slowing down from a lot of people, which is really nice. It's like a forced holiday. So people are actually starting to take stock of their natural biorhythms. Perhaps raising when the day starts and even going to bed when the day ends. So it gives us a good opportunity to rest, rejuvenate, tune into our natural rhythm. So just as you sit here for just another moment longer, just observe what parts of the body are in need of a little bit of space. For me, it's my neck. There's been a bit of a tight neck now for at least a month or so, and I just can't seem to free it up. I think it's a sleeping thing, so any sort of movement that I can do will create space for my neck and spine. I'm always open to doing. So for you, it might be your hips, could be shoulders, might be knees, ankles. What I want you to do is just to focus on those areas, and each time you inhale, think about that space of which is a little bit tighter. And then as you exhale, really see if you can release any tension, tightness, or stress that you're harboring in those areas. And just see if you can exhale and release it away. Wherever you are seated with that legs crossed or legs outstretched, just release your arms down beside you now. Just quietly open with your eyes and just extend the arms so that the fingertips are touching into the floor. Lengthen outwards to the sides. Feel that space draw down through your neck, along the shoulders as you lift up. Imagine somebody's lifting up right from the top of your head, creating that space through the spine, drawing downwards from the shoulders long into the neck. And then just release the chin towards the chest. Keeping the fingertips down and towards the floor. And then raise into the eyes again. Bring the hands just behind you, fingertips towards the floor again. And then just start to lift across the chest. Almost imagine you're drawing your shoulders back and down, squeezing the shoulder blades in towards each other, lifting into the heart, and finding that frontal openness through the frontal spine, really connecting shoulder blades towards each other, squeezing into the back. And then as you soften and release, letting go, bring the hands up now, interlock your fingers, draw the forearms forward, and again tuck in with your chin round into the back. So arch the back, splay those shoulder blades apart, draw the wrists and forearms forward, and then just soften as you release. Bring the hands down in front of whether the legs are straight onto the legs or just in front of the shins. Soften into the shoulders and just gently lengthen forward. Just breathe. So as I say, it doesn't matter if the legs are straight or the legs are crossed, just soften and allow the eyes, then just release down towards the legs and then roll yourself up through your spine. So we are going to straighten the legs if they were crossed. So just straighten the legs out, just give them a gentle bounce into the knees. At this point, if you did have a blanket or a cushion under your buttocks, just remove it for the moment. We're going to bend into our knees. We're going to place our fingertips just pointing down towards our toes, but just behind our buttocks. So we're going to take our weight back onto our hands. Spread your fingertips wide. Feet are hip width apart, knees are bent, but the knees are not close into the buttocks. We've spread them out away from our feet. From here, the weight comes back onto the hands. Soften into those elbows. Draw the elbows towards each other. And then from there, raise up onto your feet and onto your hands, lifting into your hips, raising the eyes to the sky. And then just nice and slowly lower yourself back down. We're going to hold it. Do this 3 times, getting a little bit stronger each time. Lengthen out with your legs. Lift the flesh from your sit bones. Raise up nice and tall through your arms, hinging at the hips. Exhale, release forward. Allow the hands to rest down wherever you like, whether it's under the knees, around the calves, ankles, toe. Soften into the shoulders and gently extend yourself forward. And then allow the eyes just to draw down to the legs and then slowly roll back up. So then bend back into your knees. Bring the hands again down beside you. Take those feet a little bit further away this time. And actually, if you want, but this time we'll turn the fingertips facing away from the feet. So the heel of the hands close to the buttocks, fingertips are away. Inhale, and as you exhale, raise yourself up. Some people find it easier with the hands pointing back, others pointing forwards. And then just slowly, when you're ready, lower one vertebrae down at a time, taking the buttocks towards the floor nice and mindfully. Lengthen out with the legs, raise into the arms. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward. Release the hands down. Draw the eyes towards the legs. And then just quietly roll back up through your spine. So now you've had your fingers pointing forwards and back. So we're going to try it one more time, and you can choose whether it's the fingers forwards or back. You may like to bend into the knees again, or you may want to straighten into the legs and keep the legs out straight. So it's up to you. Fingertips forwards or back, legs bent or legs straight. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to raise up onto your legs, onto your feet, sorry, raise up into the eyes, lifting up through the frontal spine, breathing, and then just slowly lower down, taking the heels, the sit bones back to the floor. Lengthen out into the legs if you need to. Lift the flesh. Inhale up, and then exhale, release forward and down. And so just soften as you release forward and down. This time holding around the legs, behind the knees, ankles, calves, around the toes, and just gently draw yourself inwards and down. Sigh that breath out. We're going to stay here for about 4 to 5 breaths. So just really allow that spine to open up. Observe where it's feeling tightest, whether it's in your back or the legs. It might be the hips or the buttocks. And just breathe into those areas. Remembering that each time you exhale, you're just surrendering into the position just a little bit more, really noticing how that body is going to open up. And then just release. When you're ready, roll back up through your spine. And then just gently bounce back into those knees. So you're going to place the soles of the feet together. Sit yourself up nice and tall, and just a gentle little flutter in with your knees. And then just bringing the forearms forward, soften into your shoulders and gently draw yourself forward. Keep that spine nice and long, shoulders are down. Imagine somebody's got their hand just gently placed between your shoulder blades and just gently drawing yourself forward. Nice. And then quietly release all the way back. So lift the knees back up to center, straighten out with the legs again. Give them a wee bounce in at the knees. You're going to bend up with that left knee now. Draw it in towards your body. Then we're going to cross it over that right leg. So you're going to draw forward through that right leg. The left knee is drawn up and over that right leg. Let's start by wrapping that right arm around the left knee. Move into a twist first. So now just take the left hand behind, close to the body. Let's enable both sit bones to sit onto the floor. You're going to lengthen forward with the right leg. Inhale, draw up through the body. And then just quietly exhale and twist around to the left. So remember to turn with your eyes last. Keeping that right leg active. Breathe. And then just slowly unwind as you gently come around. This time we're going to lift up. So you're going to take that right hand behind. Take that weight onto that left foot. You're going to raise up with that left arm. Lift up as much as you can. Extend up and over with that left arm. Create that space through the left hip all the way up through the rib cage. And then just slowly lower back down with your hips. Bring that left arm back down. Straighten out through the legs again. Lift the flesh from your sit bones. Sit up nice and tall. Raise up into the arms. Soften into the shoulders. Toes draw towards the chins. Exhale, shins. Exhale, release forward and down. Soften with your shoulders. Breathe. And then just quietly, when you're ready, we'll slowly roll up through your spine and gently bounce back into the knees. So this time you're going to bend into your right knee, draw your right knee in towards the body, and then cross it over the left leg. So sitting up nice and tall, both sit bones are really connected into the floor. Left leg is out straight. Let's wrap that left arm around that right knee. Right hand behind the body, close to the body, so that you can really inhale and sit upwards, and then just gently turning around to the right. Sigh the breath out. And then just slowly, when you're ready, release, unwind, come back around to the front. Take the left hand behind, just behind your body. Take the weight over to the left, weight onto that right foot. Raise up with your right arm, lifting up into the hips, extending up and over, looking under your right armpit. And then just slowly lower back down with your hips, buttocks, back down to the floor, coming back around to the front, straight legs, lift the flesh from your sit bones. Again, inhale up into the arms, or somebody's looking to join in, I'll just add them in. Extend forward as you fold forward. Hello, if you've just managed to join in, sorry, there may have been a bit of a block there for anyone who was hoping to come on in. Hope everyone's managed to join in. So we were folding forward, and just when you're ready, we'll just release. So we're going to cross our left leg in front of our right leg. That may not be the most comfortable way for many of us. So sitting up nice and tall. The reason I say that is most people are right-handed, and therefore it's a little bit more comfortable for the right leg to be folded in front. So we've now got the left leg folded in front. So sitting tall and just gently lengthen forward. Feel that space open up into the left hip especially. And just breathe. Nice. So from here, if you can, draw yourself all the way over onto your shins and come up onto all fours. If you can't, if you need to sit here and come up and uncross, then just swing the legs around, that's fine. Sitting back into the pose of the child, so just gently fold over with your arms, soften into the forehead. Just sitting back, buttocks towards the heels, and just breathe. So we haven't been in this downward facing position at this moment, so just take your time to adjust, settle into the position, allow the breath to really push against your thighs, the belly to really push against the thighs, which will in turn expand into the lower back. When you feel ready, we'll extend out into your arms. So spread your arms, spread the fingers, lengthen into the fingers as you lift up onto your fingertips, draw forward into your knuckles, and encourage the sit bones to sit back or lengthen back, opening into the armpits, the rib cage. Just breathe. Just release the palms back down to the mat. And then slowly, when you're ready, we'll draw up onto all fours. Tuck the toes, and you're going to raise up into your downward dog, which may be the first time into this position today. So lift up into your hips, and then just gently walk the heels one at a time, opening into the back of the calves, feeling that space really lengthen through each calf, behind the knee and into the hamstring. Be as bold and as wide with each step as you feel that you would like to. So really exaggerate the stepping of the legs. Remember to breathe. Remember, the more you use the breath, the more you surrender into the asana, into the position, into pose. The squeakiness is my mat. So holding position without holding your breath, and remember at any time if you need to take rest, come on down into the pose of the child, that's fine. Lift up onto the toes and swivel your heels to the right. Take the heels down to the mat, and then just really encourage the hips back, long into the arms. You're almost really driving that chest right back towards your thighs. Arms are nice and long, just a little bit soft into the elbows, and breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll draw up with the heels, up onto the toes, swivel the heels all the way over to the left, lower the heels back down, and then really encourage the hips back, opening this time through the right side of the rib cage. So arms are long, weight draws back, breathing, and then slowly lift up onto the toes, swivel the heels back to center, pause into your Adho Mukha Svanasana. This is your downward dog. Soften into the shoulders, and then raise up onto the toes and then down onto the knees and take rest into the pose of the child. So sit the buttocks back, fold the forehead over onto the back of the hands. And for some of you, that might be quite strong, so please remember to take rest at any time. But for those who want a little bit of the challenge, you don't have to come back into rest if you don't wish. So let's lengthen forward into your arms again. Inhale up onto all fours, tuck your toes and raise back up into your downward dog. Now let's just bring our weight forward from here over our hands. So if you find that you need to take those toes back just a little, then do. Soften into your shoulders. Really feel as if those shoulder blades are drawing back towards each other. Your eyes are looking down to the floor just in front of your mat. The belly button pulls in, you're nice and strong. Let's raise your right foot from the floor just 2-3 inches And let's just make a circular motion with the right leg. The entire right leg is straight, but you're just making a circular motion with the right leg so that the toes are circling around almost about the size of a large sellotape roll. So it's not a big circle, it's just a small circle. Breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll take that right foot back down, take the left foot back, and then again, just make a small circular motion with the left leg. Good, good, good. Beautiful. Remember, anytime you can take rest. Breathe. Belly button draws in, and then take the left foot back down. From here, belly button draws in, all the way back and up with your hips into your downward dog. Notice how enjoyable that is to take the weight off the hands and arms. So extending back, let's think about the hips going as high as they can. The chest coming towards the stomach. The chest coming towards the thighs as much as you can. And just really allowing your arms, you can almost sink a little bit through your armpits here, allowing the top of your head to lengthen down towards the mat. Feel as if those shoulders are just releasing away from those ears, drawing the shoulder blades in towards each other, which will encourage the head to the mat just a little more. And then from here, we're going to raise up onto the toes, down onto your knees. Let's step forward with our right foot. So we're stepping the right foot forward. Let's raise up into the arms. Big breath, sigh the breath out. So let's really draw the left hip forward, focus on that left hip flexor, raising up into the arms. Now for those who wish, you can stay here. Alternatively, you can lift with that left back knee. So from there, we're just going to float the arms down, come down onto the left knee, raise up into the arms, lift back up with the left knee. It's up to you. Soften into the shoulders if you wish to keep that left knee down, do. So float the arms down, almost draw yourself forward now, sweeping forward as you then come up, lift up with that left knee. Let's encourage that extension upwards and back with the arms, and then float the arms down lower with that left knee. Let's come forward one more time. Raise up into the arms. Let's lengthen upwards. Lift up with that left knee if it's comfortable. Draw up and back with the arms, with the eyes. Let's push back with that left heel. Let's bend a little deeper without taking that left knee to the floor. And then float the arms down, take that left knee back down. Bringing the hands forward, you're going to gently sigh that breath out. Bring that right leg back. So you're almost going to straighten into the right leg. It won't be straight. Just encourage that right thigh back. So you're starting to focus on that right hamstring, drawing that right leg back as much as you can. If you wish, you can start to raise into that right toes, the toes of the right foot, soften into the shoulders. You'll notice how much that works into the hamstring, behind the knee, into the calf, wherever it's tightest for you, into the back of the leg. And then just slowly float the weight forward back onto that right foot. Hands down either side of the right foot. Lift up into the left knee. Slide back into your plank. Soften into the shoulders. Belly button draws in. Let's raise up into your downward dog. Hips come up. Breathe. So think of those little adjustments that you need to do, which is just softening into the shoulders, encouraging the top of the head down towards the floor, encouraging the chest to the thighs, drawing your belly button back into the spine just a little. Nice. And then quietly, when you're ready, lift up onto the toes, exhale down onto your knees, step forward with your left foot. Just about forgot which one we had forward before there. And so from here, raise up into the arms, soften down with your shoulders. Just pause here, keeping that right knee grounded. And then this is when, if you choose, you can raise up with that right knee from the floor just a little. Lifting up into the arms, create that space, and then we'll just float the arms down, lower down with that right knee. Sweep the arms forward. Let's raise up with the knee, with the arms, lift up and over with the upper body, and then float the arms down, float the right knee down. Keep the right knee down if you choose, it's your choice. Inhale, raise up. Let's extend up and back as best you can. Let's encourage back with that right heel. Lower down, float the arms down. We've got one more time. So inhale, extend all the way forward and up. Coming upwards, soften into the shoulders. Let's push back through that right heel. Bending with that left knee just a little more. You may take that right knee towards the floor, but not all the way down. And then just slowly float the arms back down. And then from there, hands forward. Draw back with that left leg this time. Softening into the shoulders, keeping the chest long towards the toes. And then just gently encourage that left heel, the left side of the buttocks to draw back. And then you're going to raise into the left toes if you choose. Breathe. Big deep breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll just slowly rebound forward. Hands either side of that left foot, lift up with your right knee, slide back into your plank, soften into the shoulders, belly button draws in. And at this point, we're going to lower down onto your knees, take the knees wide, draw the big toes towards each other, find the ridge line up through your shins, and just quietly encourage your sit bones back towards your heels as you lengthen into your arms and rest coming forward, allowing your belly just to quietly hang between the thighs. Now, if you find that you would rather some support for the head, then by all means fold the arms in, rest your head onto the back of the hands. Okay, so this time lengthen forward into your arms, gently draw up onto your knees, bring your knees together this time, bring the hands under the shoulders, and we're just going to lower our hips from side to side. I love this one for loosening up into the back. So the opposite hand may come off the floor, that's fine, just gently draw up and release over to the other side. So the big key here is to try and use your core strength. So you're thinking about lifting the belly button in towards the spine to draw yourself up and then just releasing it over. So we're avoiding any yanking up or dropping down of the hips. We're just being smooth and controlled through our movement, through our body. Working with the breath. And then slowly, when you're ready, come back up to center. Sitting our buttocks back towards our heels, you're going to tuck your toes under and sit the weight back. Extend your arms nice and far forward, and then raise ourselves up into the downward dog. So a lovely downward dog position here, softening again into the shoulders. Now I'm going to get you to step your feet 1/2 a foot distance forward. So just step them 1/2 a distance forward. Then we're going to take our left hand onto the outside of the right leg, wherever you can reach, whether it's up by your knee, down your calf or the ankle, and you're just going to rotate the eyes up and under your right armpit. Just breathing. Nice. And then slowly release. We'll take the left hand back and we'll take it over to the other side. Right hand to the left leg. Looking up and under that left armpit. Breathe. And then just slowly come back. So we'll keep our feet where they are. We're going to raise our right leg straight up to the sky. Now you may like to keep your hips square to the floor at this moment. See if you can encourage the left heel back to the mat. See if you can encourage your right ball of your foot up to the sky. Now, if you wish, you can stack the hips on top of each other. So rotate your right hip to the sky and then release that right heel to the buttocks. And you may now like to just encourage that right foot back as far as you feel that you can go without you having to lift any other part of your body off the mat. So just encourage that right knee to the sky, open up as best you can. And then from there, we're going to take that right knee back around. We're going to bring our right knee forward between the hands. So the right knee comes forward taking the foot out to the left-hand side as we extend backwards with our left leg. So we're into our pigeon, our Ekapada Rajakapotanasana. So we'll soften into the shoulders as we lift up nice and tall. Beautiful. Now if we can, we might do a little balance. Let's raise up into the arms, soften into the shoulders. Let's see if we can take that right hand back towards our right thigh. If not, just take it to the floor. Maybe take it to your right knee, to the floor, or to the right thigh. Reach up and back with that left arm, looking to the right. And then just float the left arm down, bring the right hand back, and just lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Soften into the shoulders, breathe. Folding over with your hands and support your head onto the back of the hands. Breathe. Maybe take a very subtle little movement from the left to the right side through your hips and buttocks, opening through your hips. Let's encourage that left leg back just a little bit further. See if you can challenge the left toes just a millimetre by millimetre to extend a little bit further back behind you. And then when we're ready, we'll just slowly lift ourselves back up. Walk the hands back towards that right knee. Sit yourself up nice and tall. Slide back with that right knee. And we'll tuck our toes and come up into our Ardha Mukha Svanasana again. So downward facing dog. All the way up. Breathe. So we will step our right foot in just a half a foot further forward, placing it towards the floor, and then raise up with our left leg. So you're going to encourage the right heel back, the heart towards your thighs. The left leg is straight up to the sky, either staying here, or if you wish to stack the hips, you can. Release that heel back towards the buttocks and encourage it back towards the floor as far as you feel comfortable. Opening as far as you can through your hips. Breathe. And then slowly, when you're ready, we'll come back to center and we'll slide our left knee forward, soften into the shoulders, slide the right leg back, and then from there, just slowly sit yourself up, soften into the shoulders. You can raise up into the arms, soften, take that left arm down, either to the left knee, to the floor, or back towards that right thigh, reaching and lengthening up with that right arm. Moving into a little bit of a twist. And then just slowly float the arms down. Bring the left hand forward, resting onto the forearms. And you can rest the forehead onto the back of the hands. Folding a fist. So this is where we're going to extend that right leg back just a little. And we'll just pause by breathing nice and quietly, taking our weight just very subtly from the left to the right side, wherever you find that it's most comfortable for you. Beautiful. Nice. And then so from there, we're just gently going to bring our hands back towards that left knee. Slide that left leg back. Sit back into the pose of the child. Extended child, drawing the buttocks back. And then from here, we're going to slide ourselves forward and through. You're going to come into your sphinx. So we're going to rest onto the forearms, soften into the shoulders, lift up through your torso. Shoulders down from the ears, the neck is nice and long, the belly button draws into the spine, and then from there just slowly release. And we're going to lay our arms down by our side and our cheek into the mat. So just take rest, allow yourself to wiggle into the hips, softening the back, the buttocks, and just breathe. So we're going to bring our hands now just under our shoulders, bring your head back to center.
Let's lengthen out with the legs behind us. So try not to have your legs out too wide. Bring them in towards each other. They don't have to be touching. Just bring your elbows now in towards your rib cage. And then from there, draw the belly button in. And as you exhale, start to lift up with your upper body. And it may only be at this moment 2 to 3 inches high. It's not far. I want you to see if you can just lift your hands off the mat. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades in towards each other. And then see if you can lift up just maybe a few more mils. Doesn't need to be far. Breathing. And then slowly release. Let's relax the arms down by your side. Palms turned up. Turn the other cheek to the mat. And just relax. Big deep breaths. And so from here again, we're going to bring the hands directly under the shoulders again, the head back to center, elbows in at the rib cage, and then gently lift yourself up. Feel free to play around by taking the hands off the floor, squeeze the shoulder blades back together, and then if you wish, place the hands back down to the mat, and then just see if you can lift yourself up a little bit higher. Doesn't need to be as far as I'm going. It might be just a few inches. Doesn't need to be high. If you feel that you can lift up a little bit higher, think about really lengthening up as you now extend back into the legs, squeezing into the thighs, the buttocks, and then just slowly release, lower yourself back down. Come and rest, arms down by your side, cheek to the mat. And again, just wiggle your hips from side to side, massaging and relaxing into the back. And breathe. So one more for the back before we open the back in the other direction. Bring your head back to center, keep the arms where they are. We're going to bend into your knees, drawing your heels towards your buttocks. You're going to hold on to the ankles. Now, if you can, instead of holding onto the feet, let's see if we can hold onto the lower shin, the ankles, not too much into the ankles where you're going to cause any strain onto the ankles. If you can hold around the shin, that would be ideal. If you have to hold onto the toes, that is fine, purely for reach effort. What we're also going to try and do is keep our knees as close together as they can be. There's often a tendency in this one where the knees want to splay apart. We're going to see if we can keep them almost in a straight line down from their hips. So inhale, and as you exhale, we're gently going to raise up by pushing your feet or your legs into the hands, encouraging your upper body up, shoulders back. And then if you can lift with your knees up as well, we'll just take a wee rock into our bow. Beautiful. And then slowly, when you're ready, we'll release, lower ourselves back down, let go with the feet, arms down by your side, and cheek into the mat. And again, just gently rock ourselves across our hips, into the buttocks. And breathe and rest. So this time we're going to open up into our spine. So we'll bring our hands down under our shoulders. Again, the ribs are snuggled in with your arms. See if you can keep your head as low as you can. So it's almost like your forehead or your nose is just touching into the mat. Draw your belly button in. We're going to lift up onto our knees and round into the back as best you can. So you may want to walk your hands a little closer towards your knees, bringing them under your shoulders, arching into the back as best you can. Arch it all the way up and continue to arch as you ever so slowly draw yourself back into the pose of the child. So just gently sinking your buttocks back to the heels and then coming to rest just all the way down with your forehead onto the back of the hands. And breathe. So we're going to move into our rabbit here. So I want you to bring your knees as close together as you can. From here, our face is going to be as close down towards our knees as we can, with our forehead or the top of our hairline down onto the mat. You're going to hold around the ankles or the arches of the feet with your fingertips pointing inwards. So holding the fingertips inwards around the ankles or the arches of the feet. Place your head as close as you can to the knees, and then lifting up with your hips, straightening into the arms, expanding into the back, into the neck, creating that space. And breathe. And slowly lower the hips back down to the floor as you release, and just return into the pose of the child. So the knees may go just a little bit wider to soften and relax into the forehead. Just breathe. Let's try that one more time. So bring your knees as close together as you can. Face as close to your knees as you can. Hands around the arches of the feet or the heels. And then raise up into the hips, lengthen into the arms. Bring the weight onto the head. Even weight onto the head, I should say, to the legs. And then just slowly in your own space, lower that down. Release with the knees a little bit wider if you choose, and come back into the pose of the child. Just resting and settling into the upper body. And breathe. So let's open into the arms. Let's continue to expand into the back. Open into the arms, extend them forward, and then inhale up with the upper body. You're going to walk your arms around to the right. Take your weight of your stomach over your right thigh. Take your arms as far around to the right as you feel comfortable, so that you can keep your arms shoulder width apart. Soften with the shoulders, and just sit the buttocks back towards the heels. Just breathe. And then slowly, when you're ready, inhale, lift up with the upper body, and just walk yourself back to center. Let's lift up with the stomach over that left thigh and layer it over the left thigh as you walk your arms around to the left, shoulder width apart, and just again sink the sit bones back towards the heels. And then just nice and quietly, as you release, we'll walk the hands back to center. And then just slowly drop up onto all fours. So we're back up onto all fours. We're going to take our right arm out to the side. So extend that right arm all the way out to the side, shoulder height. Just sink down nice and low with that right arm, expanding into the chest, into the shoulder. If it's comfortable, you can rest with your head, the side of your head to the mat. Don't feel that you have to. I actually prefer not to usually in this one. And then from there, we're just going to slowly release, come back up, flipping the palm of that right hand up to face up towards your chest, and then scooping it out to the left hand side. So you're going to scoop your arm all the way out to the left, lower down with your upper body if you can. You want to imagine somebody's holding onto that left wrist, pulling that left wrist as far away as you can. From here, we're going to lengthen back with that left leg. So lift up with the left knee, tuck the toes into the floor. And then we're going to take that left arm straight up to the sky. And if you wish, you can tuck it into the small of the back or round onto the right thigh. If you've got the balance, you may choose to take that left leg off the floor. Draw the belly button in, breathe. There's some collapsing, well done, you're trying. If you're not collapsing, maybe try some harder. Lower back down with the left leg. Release with the left arm, bring it back up and over. Take the hand down beside your face, bring the left knee in, push up with your left arm, and come back up to center. So take the left arm out to the side this time, sweeping it out to the left side. You're turning your eyes to the right, Just breathe. And then when you're ready, we'll just slowly release, come back up to center, flip the palm upwards towards your chest, scooping that right arm out to the right hand side. You're slowly going to lower down with that body and then just gently extend back with that right leg. If you can't rest the head to the floor, then don't panic. Raising up with your right arm, this is only if it's comfortable, and then take the right hand into the back of the small of the back or round onto the left hip. If you wish, you can raise through that right leg. So it's about the same line as your body. So from the ball of your right foot all the way down to the top of the head. Breathing. And then just slowly lower back down with the right foot. Raise up with the right arm. Bring the hand back down. Spring in with your right knee. Lift up. And release back into the pose of the child. Just fold over with your forearms and rest yourself and the child's pose, completely surrendering. So from here, we're going to come around onto our back. So just gently draw yourself up as mindfully as you can. Come around now onto your sit bones and then take your time sitting yourself forward. Make sure you've got enough room to roll yourself down. And we're just going to nice and slowly lower ourselves down onto our back. Resting onto our back just for a moment. You're going to bring one knee in towards your chest at a time and just wrap those arms around your knees, squeezing the knees in. Softening the shoulders, lifting your head towards the knees, just rounding into that spine. And then gently release with the head back down to the floor. And then lengthen out with your legs one at a time. And rest with your legs outstretched. So just take a moment to observe how that feels. What parts of the body are feeling like they need a little bit of opening, a little bit of relief. We're going to move into a little bit of a twist. So bend in with your knees. Take your feet about as wide as your mat. Or if you're not on a mat, just wider than your hips. Extend out with your arms so that they're shoulder height. And then taking our knees from side to side, the same direction. They go the same direction. Knees go from side up to middle, over to the side. Back up to middle, and over to the side. So just going from side to side, turning with your head and your knees the opposite direction. And of course, being mindful about the way in which you're doing this so that you have got your strength coming in from your core. So gently drawing the belly button in, which will initiate the knees to draw up and then over to the side, coming back to center. Now you may like to choose to stay here. If you wish, you can take the feet from the floor and just do the same thing. We won't do this for too long. We'll just do it for about 3 to 4 times to either side, taking your legs from side to side so that we can move into a spinal twist. So allowing the eyes to turn the opposite direction to the knees. Slowly drawing the knees up. Releasing them down. See if you can keep a little bit of a distance between your knees and your feet. And then when you're ready, doesn't matter what side you're on now, but next time you're going to take the legs over to the right, we'll leave our legs all the way over to the right. So the legs are allowed to rest as far down to the right as you feel comfortable. It doesn't matter if the left leg is still high, resting up high. That's as far as the back and the body will allow it. You can bring your right hand onto the knees now and just gently draw those legs down towards the floor a little bit deeper. Extend out through your left arm and see if you can keep your left shoulder grounded and just sigh the breath out. This is a classic one where people tend to hold their breath
And if you can just let go, you'll settle and soften just so much more easily. So just breathe. Just relax. Feel free to close with the eyes and just enjoy the fact that you're here, getting a beautiful spinal twist. Japa Parivattanasana, Sanskrit name. Squeezing and releasing all those toxins out of our body. And then when you can let go with the right hand from your knees, just be really mindful before you move. So think about drawing the belly button in and then lift those legs back up to center and then just with ease and grace take them over to the left hand side. And then again, just gently soften through your right shoulder. Bring the left hand onto the knees if you choose. And just sigh the breath out. Just breathe. Just relax. And then quietly, when you're ready, release that left hand. Draw the belly button in. Slowly bring your knees back up to center. And then just draw the knees in towards your chest. So you're going to hug the knees in towards the body. Lift with your head towards the knees. Just realign through the spine. Take the head back down when you're ready. Soften into the shoulders. Wrap the arms around the knees, squeezing those knees in as closely as you can towards your body. And then just gently let go with the hands, with the feet. Place the feet towards the floor. We're going to place the soles of the feet together and open each knee out to either side. So just rest with your arms down by your side. Feel free to close in with your eyes. And you may like to, at this point, take your arms out to shoulder height, maybe bending in at the elbows. Or you may want to take the arms up above the head, holding onto the elbows and placing them in contact with the floor. Just close in with your eyes. Relax through the facial muscles. Try and observe again at what parts of the body are feeling like they're harboring any tension. See if you can breathe into that space. You may notice it more in through the pelvis or the inner thigh at this time with the knees apart. If you have a cushion nearby, feel free to plop the cushion up under your thighs just to rest them under the knees and allow the knees to rest. And again, completely surrender into the position. Just relax. And then just in your own space, let go with the arms. If you have the arms raised above your head, bring them back down by your side. Just soften, settle. Feel free to stay here if it's comfortable. Or if you wish to now bend into the knees, drawing them back up to centre, do so. You may want to rest with your knees bent, feet to the floor. Or if you prefer, you can lengthen out with your legs one at a time along your mat. So just nice and quietly, get into a position which feels right for you for this moment, this very moment. Being aware that every time you come into a position of rest, it's going to be different. Let's soften in with your eyes, relax into the facial muscles, and just allow the body to be supported by the earth beneath. Let go of any part of the body where there's any tension. Might be the knees, the ankles, the thumbs, the wrists. And just make sure that you've let go completely. Remember how at the start of the class we focused on our breath. See if you can keep your attention with your breath at this moment too. Observe the inhalation and soften on the exhalation. See if you can make your exhalation just a little bit longer than your inhalation. If it helps, count. Inhale for the count of 2 and exhale for the count of 3. As you're keeping that slow and steady focus on your breath, scan down from your head all the way down to the feet. And become aware of the parts of your body that are connecting into the earth beneath. Observe the evenness into the head, across the shoulders, into the back, and down through to the hips, legs, back of the feet, whatever parts of the body are connecting into the earth beneath. Ensure it's even and continue to focus back to your breath. Maybe this time inhaling for 2 and exhaling for 4. Maybe inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 5. Just quietly becoming aware of how the body is being supported and the way the breath is flowing. And then start to bring gentle but very subtle movements back to the body. So it might be just a wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Maybe a gentle turning of the head from side to side. Maybe a little rotation through your wrists. Turn with the head, rotating into the ankles. And then just reawaken a little bit more through the body with each movement. Getting broader through the movement as you open and expand or curl and hug in. Do what feels right for you. And then just quietly allow yourself to bring the knees to the chest, rocking from side to side, rocking all the way over to your right hand side. And then quietly, in your own space, opening with your eyes and drawing yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. I so enjoyed this practice and hope the outside noise of the children wasn't too disturbing. So thank you all very much. Hope you've had a beautiful Good Friday. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you, Olivia.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.